Smart glasses, they have come quite a long way just in the past year or two. I mean, we went from devices that had big, chunky, bulky things on the front. I did not like that, as cool as it was. We've gone from that to sleek, sultry, stylish. About a year ago, I looked at the Even Reality's G1, and I was pretty impressed because especially at that time, there was nothing really on the market that was as sleek and nice and performative. And now we have, oh, the G2, did you see that? I love they had the same kind of, that's what they did before. They got the pizzazz. The G2 makes a number of discrete improvements, but overall, still looks sleek. Let's see what's in the box first. And also what's in this box. This is a ring, there's a ring now. Hold your horses. Ooh, what do they write? I feel like I remember them writing something. Quietly extraordinary power for your everyday life. That makes me feel so good. What they're getting across here though is, what I do like about these is that it's a product that is meant to it's trying to fit into normal life instead of trying to transform life into a horrible dystopia, which is, I think, better. Got a quick guide. That all looks very interesting, but I don't need to familiarize myself with it too much because, spoiler alert, I have been using these for the past week or two, just to kind of understand. In the bottom of the box, we have, once again, a nice cleaning cloth here, folded wonderfully, that I'm going to ruin. A sleeved cable, and that is, that's 3.5 feet. I'm a scientist. I need to know these things. And in the middle, we have temple sleeves and nose pads, because the design of the Even G1 and the G2, it is so sleek that some people might want some extra protection in between their skin and the metal. And we got safety and warranty information. But there's also the Even Reality's R1, a smart ring. They did not have this the first go around. I love the unboxing experience. I gotta say, they're thinking about what it's gonna be like. They're using empathy. So there's the ring itself. It looks shiny, look at that. There's all sorts of sensors in there. Can you see that? Ooh, there it is. Hold on, no, not yet. I'll do that after. Okay, this is the charging pad for the ring. Oh, how long is it? That seems a bit longer, actually. 3.5 feet plus a little bit. No, some parts of science are just vibes. And this just magnetically attaches on there like that. And if you plug the other end in, there's a little thing that'll light up. Trust me, safety and warranty information. Okay, ready? Got it? Okay, good. Let's look at the actual glasses themselves. They got this magnetic closing case here and a USB-C port on the back. And you just open it up. There's a magnetic thing on the back so it attaches, so you can leave it open like that if you want to display it. Well, as you can see, if I hide the little dongle thing on the back, that looks like a regular pair of glasses, doesn't it? Oh, did I see the display for a second? Oh, and they went away. But those are the waveguide displays. They're small. You can't even tell that there's display hardware really unless you look closely. If you saw the G1 video, you might be thinking those look exactly the same, but you'd be wrong! Because the temples are now built with full titanium and they're 53% thinner at 1.2 millimeters. The overall frame size is reduced by 20%, and the end piece here is actually reduced size by 15%. So there are differences, and there are also differences on the inside, which we will get to. But overall, when you look at them, I'm an even better wizard now than I was before. Oh, hold on, I forgot to mention a couple things. So on the end piece here, that is where the touchpad is. There's tap controls, double tap to go back. You can tap and hold to bring up the options within the UI. There's another touchpad on the other side, but they are interchangeable. You can use either touchpad. We have 4 microphones, 2 on the back and 2 on the front. I didn't mention you can also swipe on the touchpad back here, but there are no other controls. However, there are more controls on the smart ring, on the R1. Enough is enough. Okay. As I put on the glasses, the display is there to greet me, and I can double tap on the ring to dismiss it. On the previous model, to dismiss it, you'd have to be reaching back, and if you were like looking at something, you're like, no, I don't, the display's in the way, and you like keep touching your head. So the R1 has this touchpad on it. As you can see, where these dots are on the edge of the ring, that's the touchpad. So you can swipe up and down on that, you can tap, you can double tap, you can tap and hold. But this isn't just a control ring, it also has a PPG sensor in there for heart rate and blood oxygen level, as well as a skin temperature sensor and an accelerometer so it can track your steps and stuff, because that is another new thing that the G2 has that the G1 did not. It can give you some insights on sleep. It's been tracking me, and I'm actually a little bit scared to see what it finds. The ring itself is apparently made with a zirconia ceramic lined with medical grade stainless steel that Even Reality says gives it a silky smooth finish. One thing that I feel like I would actually like is some kind of texture to know if my thumb is on the touchpad. Most of the time you can tell because the top of the ring is flat and it has the Even Reality's logo on it. However, most of the time, if I'm like, okay, I want the display up, I can just like double tap on the ring and it shows up and I can double tap back. So as with the G1, the G2 uses what you might think of as sort of like a fighter jet heads-up display with like everything displayed just in green. However, there have been some key improvements. It's a 75% larger display. And they also have some distance to it now. So you can set it to near or mid or far away. Maybe if you were outside, you set it to more far away because you'll be looking at things that far away and then you don't have to focus back. Here you can adjust the brightness of the display, which apparently goes up to 1200 nits. So I've had it actually basically as low as it goes because I can see it. And the benefit of this particular kind of smart glasses is that it's not presenting me like a color screen, like an Android screen that like kind of blocks stuff out. I can see in between the letters and stuff. So even if the display is right in front of me, I can still choose to kind of focus beyond it and see what's behind it. And Even Reality says that that's partially possible because of their holistic adaptive optics technology. They say it's proprietary, like they figured out how to make the micro LED projectors and the waveguides and the lenses kind of work together so that everything stays very clear yet crisp. Those are the same thing. If you must know, the resolution of the displays in each lens is 640 by 350, but you're not gonna be watching movies on these things. I think that the G1 kind of took a bit more of an approach where you wanna be present, you wanna be looking at what's around you in the world, and then if you want some information, you can kind of look up and see it, and it's like, oh, okay, I'm checking that, and then you go back. You can still set the display so that it's like near the top of your view, but it being larger means that if you want more information there, it's there. It is also nice to be able to have this dashboard that they have set up where you can see the clock, and it shows you the temperature and your notification count, and then these screens that you can swipe through. They've got news, stocks you're following, your calendar at a glance, a task list, and your health information. And you can tap into each of those things and get more information. Let's see what else we got going on in the app. So there's a moon button over here, that's silent mode. So you can just turn the display off entirely. You can turn it back on by touching and holding on the touchpads at the back. Here's where you can customize your dashboard. You can choose specific news sources to add, or you can just say, okay, I want generally business, science, and technology, the only things that matter. And then calendar. This will by default sync with your Google Calendar on Android and with your Apple Calendar on iOS. If you're wondering what this head-up display, it was in the G1 as well. If you want to activate the display, you can look up. Oh, I'm getting too much reality. I need to connect to the internet in some way. Oh, there it is. By default, the display will turn off by itself after 10 seconds, but you can modify that to go down to 3 seconds or just never. You always want to be in the Matrix. It's Cypher. Other than that, though, we got some familiar features. Translate, live translation. We're gonna test that out. Teleprompting, navigating with maps, quick list, which is like notes, and even AI, which is like a chatbot. But there's also a new feature called Conversate, which will run while you're having a conversation and transcribe everything that's happening and also pull up interesting notes using AI. I had it listen in during a writer's meeting and it was kind of funny. After it picks up all that stuff, you can scroll to the bottom here and it'll have concepts, suggestions, bios, and it'll have bios of the people that were mentioned in the meeting. Elijah is a prophet in the Hebrew Bible. That's our Elijah. Context suggests Mark is involved in the team's work and needs to figure something out tomorrow with a speaker. So that's gonna be a big task for Mark. You can also access the raw transcript, which I felt like was pretty accurate. You can set this feature to use either the phone microphone or the microphone on the Even G2. And I was using the phone microphone. My phone was on my desk. There were people talking like halfway across the room behind my chair, and it was picking it up like pretty well. There were a couple times where I was like, oh, okay, that person mumbled a little bit and I got confused, but overall I was like, wow, I'm gonna come back and hold this against you big time later. Up above the bio section though, you're gonna have key points, and then you can also go and check off action items. I'm not personally in a lot of situations where I'm gonna be using this, but I can see people, you know, like in kind of more corporate settings where they're like, oh, we had a lot of stuff discussed. Conversate. Now, when I was in that conversation, I could see everything popping up as it was happening, but you can also turn that off. So while the conversation's happening, maybe the transcript is going, but you don't, you know, you're not being distracted by like, and Mark is gonna do this, and you're like, oh, that's who Mark is. And that kind of goes along with like even G2's whole approach here to smart glasses that I find so interesting. These are not a pair of glasses that is meant for you to scroll your Instagram reels on. They're meant to be kind of a functional tool that like you can just kind of plug into your normal life and get some helpful information. While also, again, I can't emphasize this enough, wearing a pair of glasses that looks normal, sort of. Maybe I wouldn't call this normal, maybe I look classy. Do I look like I'm going to deny your application to be a museum curator? You're not ready.
You look way more pretentious than that.
Thank you. The other brand new feature in the app here is the health section. You can have my whole biology laid bare for you guys here. I did 193 steps, which is not very many, but I was taking the ring off and putting it on, okay? I haven't worn it straight for 2 weeks, I'm sorry. What is this, I've burned 1,600 kilocalories? Hey, Even, what does kcal stand for? It's a unit of energy. To measure the energy content of food, it is equivalent to 1,000 calories, small calories. By the way, that was the Even AI that is available. You can turn on or off the wake word so it's listening, but it's hey Even, and it's a chatbot, and it is not as much of a personal assistant as it is meant to be used for information. So you can't ask it to like text people back, but you can ask it to take a note. You can tell it to start translate. You can tell it to use the specific features, but it's not gonna be like a Google Assistant kind of like everything assistant, which again, kind of goes with the philosophy here. But back to the ring, it can give you some information about your sleep, except I didn't wear it while I was sleeping. But up here we have a productivity score. Reflects how well your body is prepared for focus and energy today, based on signals from yesterday's sleep. I actually didn't know that I was supposed to be wearing it when I sleep. I'm sorry. Now I know you're wondering, so let's check out Live Translate. One of our new writers here, Sean Frey. So you lived in Germany for how long?
For 7 years.
And your German is?
Not good.
Okay, so it's gonna show on the phone, and I can see the words popping up on my display, just in case I wanted to know what I was saying in German. But you go now.
Hallo Riley, mein Deutsch ist nach schlecht, selbst nach dem so lang in Deutschland.
Riley, my German is still poor, very much like that in Germany. Please, 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 I have to go to the bathroom right now. Is there anywhere close? I'm gonna burst out of my pants here.
Okay, komm zu die Badezimmer.
Okay, come to the bathrooms. That's a bit, but regardless.
My German is broken, man.
You know what, Sean, your German may be broken, but that feature certainly isn't.
Oh, it's so embarrassing.
Let's go to Germany, okay.
Oh God.
Teleprompt is the other one that I remember being very impressed by, and this one actually is kind of even more promising because it's a bigger display. And before I had to, because the display was smaller and it was a little higher up, I had to kind of like angle my head so I was looking at the camera like that, but now it can go right in front of where I'm looking here. So like I am looking at the camera as if I'm hosting a TechLinked video. And it's worth noting that in the settings, you can set it to scroll manual that you can control either with the touchpad on the ring to scroll up and down, or you can also connect a external remote control. Then there's this AI mode, which auto scrolls as it hears you say the script as you go. So I'm gonna use that one. I'm gonna start. I'm in AI mode, but I can still scroll with the Ring. This video is about inviting 50 strangers to try and stay inside a giant Jello cube, the longest, and the winner gets $100. You thought it was about tech news, but I tricked you, but really it is about tech news, and I've just tricked you again. This, I mean, I gotta say, this is very useful. And as someone who reads off a teleprompter almost every day, except in these videos, which is why they're so unhinged. So the navigate feature is here once more, and it's primarily focused on walking and cycling directions. Not gonna lie, I did try to use it for driving. Not super useful because it kept telling me to take a bike path. Apparently cyclists don't like that. One thing to know about the navigate feature though is that in some areas it might be more useful than in others.
Because Even Realities works with a navigation provider who heavily relies on OpenStreetMap data.
It doesn't have the depth of information and depth of routes that Google Maps will have. Apparently people in other locations have had better experiences with it, so your mileage may vary with navigate. But if you are in a location where it does work well, it's a pretty nice experience being able to have a map up there with directions as you're walking. You can kind of just like follow it, and it's just kind of there if you want it. And lastly, there's the quick list here where you can make a note. I don't need to make notes most of the time, but I did need to remind myself to shoot this video. So I did ask Even to make that note, and it did. And here we are. So that's kind of an overview of the features, but I cannot reiterate enough how wearing these does not feel like wearing smart glasses. I've done a few of them on this channel, and by far, especially having done the G1 and now the G2, like I can wear these at my desk, I can wear these moving around the office and doing stuff, being able to see notifications pop up. I forget that I'm wearing the smart glasses, and that's partially due to the next gen lenses that they've got in here.
They're 30% thinner than the ones in the G1.
While not losing anything clarity-wise. Because they used over 100 layers in here somehow? How is that? Just see that? And you may have noticed that I just swapped from my regular glasses to these because they're my prescription. So you can send them your prescription and they'll send you your glasses with the lenses in them like they're normal glasses. They cover prescriptions from +12 to -12, and they have digital surfacing available for people with astigmatism or myopia. And they use, for the digital surfing, they use a diamond-tipped lathe. Even Reality says that you can expect these to last for 2 days, but they've lasted longer for me because I haven't worn them for the entire workday. Because one thing that I haven't noted that you should be aware of is because of these dongles on the back, over-ear headphones may not fit all the way around. I like to wear noise-canceling headphones so I can focus and also so people know not to approach me. But if you're wearing them all day and you're using them constantly, 2 days of battery life, the case holds a maximum of 7 full glasses charges in it.
And the Ring has a 4-day battery life.
And I have not run into any problems with, every time I've picked them up, you know, maybe they weren't at 100%, but I've never had to be like, I gotta charge them. So, pretty good.
And I didn't even know this, but apparently they have an IP65 rating now.
And I went out in the rain and it was splashing on me and I was a little worried. But I guess I shouldn't have been. Now, as I said, the Even Realities G2 is entering into a world now in which smart glasses are kind of becoming more of a thing. There are these options out there that will become more available with like full color displays and stuff. And these are like, you're asking yourself, you know, I want to exist in the metaverse. I think Mark Zuckerberg and those guys have it right. But the thing that remains interesting to me about these is A, they look like real glasses, B, they aren't trying to take up your entire attention. They're trying to give you some useful information and kind of back out, like an actual assistant would. If you have a personal assistant, you don't want like to only talk to them all the time. You want to talk to everybody that you normally talk to in your life and have your assistant be like,
Message just came in.
You'll be like, thank you, now go away. So whether that's interesting to you will be up to you to decide, and it'll also be up to you to decide whether these are worth the $600 price point. If you want the prescription lens, it's $160 extra for that, and the Ring goes for $250. So altogether, you know, it's not a small investment, but for people who have a lot going on, they need to get information delivered to them that's not too distracting. I can see the argument for it, especially if you're looking to not draw tons of attention to the glasses that you're wearing, except in a good way. But at the end of the day, I can't tell you what to do, except to tell you to subscribe to ShortCircuit. Thanks again to Even Realities for sending these over for us to take a look at. And if you're looking for another video to watch, I guess watch maybe the previous one, the G1, or any other video. You pick.